Sir, here is a check with my name on it. Write down any number on this piece of paper and I will pay it.
All right, so our festivities started, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to another episode of Yank This, the premier Yankee show. We got Chris right there live representing on site in Yankee Stadium, getting ready for war against the Houston Astros. We got Tommy driving. This is the best we've seen Tommy in weeks. Look at him go. What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back. How's everything?
Great,
Good,
great.
man. Just pulled up to the house, so perfect timing.
Yeah, I just we suffered a couple things this week that we're not used to. It's losses. We lost 2 games in our last 12. I understand, guys. I need to
It's a
talk
weird
you off the
feeling.
ledge. I know, talk you off the ledge. Relax. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. But we're gonna continue. So let's start with the man from the intro, Mr. Aaron Judge himself. Arbitration was supposed to be yesterday. They pushed it back. We're thinking that possibly the Yankees have come to their senses and said, please take the money. There's no way that they're not giving him the 21, right, Tommy?
Oh no, he's getting the 21. It's just a matter of whether they maybe get an extension done and have to worry about this whole arbitration thing. I'm not sure if that's what the signs are pointing to, but the 21's a guarantee, and we'll go from there. But I'm hoping that's a long-term deal, and if not, we'll have to do it in the offseason.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chris, you're over there right now. I mean, what's the this is a big series coming up, and we're gonna get into it a little bit later. But what's the vibe right now going on in Yankee Stadium?
Oh, everybody's ready to see some Yankees baseball right now. I mean, we got Houston taking some BP, but we're it's vibrant out here. We're ready to get this game going, get the series going, and hopefully one of you will be correct on your record prediction after 16.
Yeah, we got
it
down
won't
to
be
me
me.
and Tommy.
It won't be.
I hope.
me.
Listen, it won't be me. Guys. I don't want it to be me. I said 11-5 through this 16 stretch. Right now we're 10-2. I don't want to go 1-3 here, boys. So Joe, I thought you were crazy with what you said, but I want you to be right, buddy, and not me.
I'm hoping I'm right. I'll take a split. I will take a split. That's the way that I had originally said it.
Yep.
But let's get into it, guys. We're coming off of a great series against Tampa Bay, a great series since our last show, great series against Toronto. We had that one big letdown where everyone kind of lost their shit in Toronto, where the bullpen kind of imploded. The first sign of showing being human, right? But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. For me, I love the Facebook warriors. They all come out when it's a loss or something isn't near perfection. They all come out. It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, no one's gonna
think about. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Tommy.
Chris. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say you got to think about the confidence boost that Wandy got after the getting brought in for the next game in Tampa after getting shellacked by Toronto. That was just a good call by Boone. He ended up closing it out. He had that really rough game in Toronto, him and Castro, but it just shows that this really is just a new team that we could throw the same guy out there twice. He could fuck up one night and be the savior the next night.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely doesn't have that same feel. I know everyone's trying to compare it to 98. 98 was something like I was still young. I was 15 years old, but I remember 98. And it was something, it was something that you'll never forget. I know the bookies that year will never forget 98 because they took they took a bloodbath during 98. But it's something that there's something to this team. There's an aura to this team. Tom, you've been a fan a long time. What, like, is it Judge? Like, is him betting on himself rubbing off on everybody else?
Listen, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's rubbing off on everybody else. I think the way the team is built is why we're excelling and why we're better than last year. We got we got rid of the strikeout guy. In Sanchez, brought in guys who can play defense, guys who can hit. IKF has 10 stolen bases, right? I mean, little things like that. I don't think it's just, oh, well, I'm Aaron Judge. I'm betting on myself. I'm having a monster year, so now everyone's going to play great. No, the rotation's been phenomenal. We took in some guys, like I said, who could play defense, who could hit and get on base, and it's just completely different. But the biggest thing to me is the rotation. Like, it's last year you had Cole and then whoever else behind him, right? You look at the rotation's numbers. Nobody has over a 3.5 ERA. Okay, that's your reason right there. And this is the reason why I think this team is different than last year and 2 years ago. It's not boom or bust. It's not a home run only way to score runs. They're hitting doubles. They're stealing bags. They're moving guys over. It's just a completely different team, guys. Completely different team.
Easy with the home runs, Tommy, because apparently the Yankees can only score with home runs. Again, this is what
apparently us Yankees fans think everything is a home run.
Yes, apparently we all think. But let's segue into the pitching staff. So Cole, his last outing, has the no-hitter, okay? And you guys saw in the chat, nothing irks my craw more than these fucking no-hitters. All right, guys? They don't mean anything. It's a useless stat. Yeah, okay, great. You threw a no-hitter. Whoop-de-doo. There's a million of them. If it was a perfect game, I get it. But the minute that guy gave up that hit, he's out of the game. We're not letting him, that was like, I don't know. I hate the no-hitter because it screws up every dynamic of your game. You brought Clay Holmes in, again, he had a rush to get ready, stuff like that. It screws up the whole dynamic of the way you position yourself to win the game.
No, I definitely see it.
I
But
agree.
If you're
I'm not a
talking
fan
about
of.
comparing a perfect game to a no hitter, you could say they could have pulled him earlier because he allowed 3 walks before he allowed that hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's that's why, like, I'll be honest with you, that's where like a lot of respect goes out to the Mets when everyone made fun of them, like, oh, five pitcher no hitter. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Hand the baton on. Keep going. There's no reason to keep straight.
I agree.
Especially a guy like Cole. The no hitter does nothing for him.
If you would have asked Garrett Cole, would you have cared about being pulled with a chance for a no hitter? He would have said no. That guy is as team savvy as anybody. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's all. He cares about winning. Like, listen, he shows a lot, and like he's been, like we said last episode, he's been showing a lot more emotion, which is good because everyone, as a leader in the clubhouse, you want that. You want them. You don't. You want someone to feed off of. But it's just like, again, for me, we were able to bounce back the next day, win. Clutch performances by Rizzo, Trevino, Hicks, all these guys that are coming through. So it didn't really affect us too much. But like I said, something small like that could be a blip to mess with someone's psyche, mental, and whatnot.
Joe, real quick, I will say this real quick. You did say about Hicks coming through, Trevino, this guy and that guy, but you still haven't said Joey Gallo coming through. What is he doing? He's gone. Get rid of him. I know this is off topic.
Yeah, your guy Joey.
You mentioned 4 guys' names, and Gallo wasn't one of them.
He hit 2 home runs last week. He hit
great.
2 home runs.
So did Higashioka, one of them was off a position player.
And you still would listen. If we're gonna channel any anger and energy, we're gonna channel it at Chris's top 10 list that's gonna come out later. Because let me tell you, I have a bone to pick with that list.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Lot of bone.
Me too. I'm excited.
You should not be excited to see that list. I yelled at Chris. I yelled at Chris via the chat.
Oh no, I meant I'm excited. I'm excited to butcher him.
You're excited to butcher him. Yeah. So let's listen. So we're talking about the pitching staff, whatnot. So one of our key pieces, who rightfully so, up until his last 2 starts, looked like he was going to be the starting pitcher for the AL in the All-Star game. Okay, Nasty Nestor. He's got his T-shirt day coming up in a couple of days. He's fallen off. Not to say fallen off, but the long ball has really affected him his last 2 starts. Is that is that the batters? Is that the hitters?
I mean,
following the film on him?
We all knew that he wasn't going to have a sub-2 ERA for the whole season, and he's not the fastest pitcher. He has nasty stuff, but sometimes if stuff starts hanging over the plate at 90, around that 90-mile-per-hour range, he's going to get tagged sooner or later. Again, I'm glad that it's happening in Game 60 and not Game 160. I'd rather him get this out of the way now. But I think, honestly, he'll be fine. I don't think he's coming back down to earth, as some people were saying a couple weeks ago. I just think batters adjust. We're this deep into the season to the point where you can get scouted a lot better. And it's not, a lot of people to start the season were thinking, was Nestor really this good after last year? Was he just that spark that from last year that was going to falter out this year? So I think Nestor's going to be fine. I just think, he's not going to have this sub-2 ERA. He'll hover around that 3 range.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Sorry,
Tommy.
I think it's a combination of a couple things, right? Like Chris was saying, did anyone expect him to keep up a 1.8 ERA pace? Definitely not. Okay. Hitters are definitely doing their homework, as they always do against pitchers. They're looking for any little thing to get an edge. So I mean, listen, we knew this was going to happen. The guy wasn't going to go 20 and 2 with a 1.8 ERA. Okay, so let's be real, right? And the guy's not coming down to earth, like Chris was saying. I also agree with that. This guy is still living in outer space, okay? This guy didn't even almost have a job a couple of years ago, and now he's one of the best pitchers in baseball on a really good team, right? So I still think he's very good. I would like to see a better start next time out. But, guys do homework, and sometimes you don't have your best stuff. It happens with everybody. I'm eager to see what happens in his next start.
Yeah, I mean, he's given up 19 runs the entire season, which is pretty freaking good, right? 9 of those have come in his last 3 starts. 4 against Minnesota, 4 against, then he had a great performance against Tampa Bay, giving up 1 and 5 1/3. And then the last game against, like I said, where Paredes just had a home run parade on him, and he gave up, 3 home runs to him and gave up the 4 and 4 1/3. So I don't think he's to your credit, guys. I don't think he's coming down to earth. It's a game of adjustments. There's a reason why baseball is a cerebral sport. And you know what, Tommy, I'm looking forward to his next start too, because that start is coming up against the ever so popular Houston Astros.
Yeah. What's the matchup for that? Is it Christian Javier and him, or is it Verlander and him?
It's him versus Christian Javier Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, Verlander goes against Severino.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Cole versus
Urquidy.
Yeah, listen,
I
like those.
No,
matchups.
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I stand corrected. So tomorrow's Verlander Severino. Saturday is Christian Javier Cole, and Sunday is Nestor versus Urquidy.
Okay.
So I'll be honest with you. Out of those pitching matchups, I think we're favored 3 out of the 4. The only one that I'm going to say that we're not favored in is going to be Verlander Severino. That's it. Yeah. And then not to say that it's a huge margin.
That's not a knock on Severino. That's not a knock on Severino. It's just Verlander's that good.
Correct. It's not that where it's like a huge gap on there, right?
You could definitely lose that game 2-1.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised. So we mentioned it. You made fun of me. I didn't mention his name. Fine, whatever. Okay. We have been seeing a resurgence from a couple of these guys, right? Chris has been very hard on Higashioka the last 2 months, and Higashioka has been, is ready to chase him with a baseball bat because he found the stick. He's ready to go, right? Aaron Hicks has been playing exceptionally well. He's been playing much better. The problem is that everyone looks at the numbers. You got to break it down. Like, he had a bad start to the season. His numbers are where they are now because he's had a really good stretch, But who's someone that we're still waiting for? You can't answer Joey Gallo. You are not allowed to answer Joey Gallo to this question. Who is someone that we're still waiting to go on their run?
I'd say Donaldson. We brought him in. He's been stellar defensively, but with the stick, he struggled a bit. Other than that, you take away Joey Gallo, you take away a major struggle with this team right now in this roster. But yeah, I think if anybody's gonna kind of have to pick it up a bit, it's gonna be Josh Donaldson.
I agree.
Okay.
I don't want to have I don't want to have it be the same guy being said twice, but I agree, right? Stanton had a great run. Is still playing well. Judge has been Judge. Hicks is like whatever. You don't expect much out of him, but like the guy we need to get going, I would love to get going, is definitely Donaldson. The guy can still rake. The guy's great at third base, but we need him to start hitting a little bit more. That's for sure. I agree. It's definitely Josh. Definitely Donaldson.
Well, someone in the comments just mentioned DJ. I think DJ is okay. I think the problem is that the Yankees came into the season with the thought process that Gleyber Torres had officially regressed, and their mindset was that DJ was going to be the everyday second baseman, and Gleyber Torres has been as hot a hitter for the New York Yankees as anybody.
Yep.
That was our illustrious partner, Ray.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ray.
Well,
I think DJ's
listen.
been fine. He had that error in Tampa that almost cost us, but other than that, I feel like DJ's been fine, both offensively and defensively. He's still that 260, 270 hitter. He'll hit about 20 home runs on the year, and he's the guy that gets on base and knows how to knock guys in.
No, absolutely. Tommy, what are you gonna say?
No, I was just thinking that what LeMahieu's name being mentioned there, I get that too. I know the shortened season, of 2020, I guess it was, way back at like 330 and whatever else. But I think people expect DJ to be around 315 for us. So the fact he's hitting 270 is a little bit less than what we thought. The home runs are down a little bit. So, and we're always used to DJ having some kind of hitting streaks with us, right? He always has a 10, 15, 20 game hitting streak since he came to us 3 years ago. So I understand why LeMay, whose name we mentioned, is one of the guys as well.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be IKF. One of the few people left in the major leagues that have not had a home run yet.
Yeah,
but he's done it in other ways.
He's done it in other ways, but last year he showed some pop in Texas. I'd like to see it. I think IKF could give us a little bit more. I mean, he's been solid. He's been really good. He's coming back from the hamstring. But I think that for me it'd be IKF. So guys, I got a question for you. We have a severely delusional person on our page. This is again not New York Yankees related. Okay, we're gonna go off the cuff, off the script a little bit right now. So I need to ask you guys a question here. What makes you say that a player is great?
Greatness?
No, not the greatest. If you look at a player, right? You look at Mike Trout and you say, that guy is great, right? But if you look at Michael Chavis from Pittsburgh, you don't say the same thing. What is it about a player that makes you guys say he's a great player? And I'll tell you the player that I was told or is being said is not great, but I want to just get your opinions on the topic.
Okay. Tommy, you want to start us out?
Yeah, I'll go first. When I think of a great ball player, is this strictly baseball only right now we're talking about?
Baseball. We're talking about baseball.
Okay, because I just want to make sure it's about the same sport. All right, so which makes sense. Yeah, so baseball. I think of a great player. I think of someone who can hit for average, play a good field, whether it's outfield, first base, second, third, whatever, position player. Takes pitches, gets walks, can steal a little bit of bases, has a little bit of pop, and also good off the field, okay? Like a Jeter type guy who always did the right thing, name never in the tabloids. But strictly as a player on the field, he can hit, he can steal, he's a good defender, doesn't strike out a lot, earns his walks, a good OPS. That's what I think makes someone a great player. You can be very talented, you can be super talented, but not be great.
Fair enough.
So that's what I think of a great player.
I agree with Tommy.
I think there's not a lot of great players in baseball. I think there's only maybe 6 to 8 great players in baseball. There's stars and there's all stars, but I think baseball probably only has 6 to 8 great players.
Okay.
Oh no, I definitely see that. I think it's a combination of efficiency, consistency, and versatility. Tommy pretty much covered everything, and that I put it into 3 words. It's somebody that can hit around 280 to 300. He's a guy that can give you about 20, 25 plus home runs. He's a guy that hits with runners in scoring position, and he's a guy that's solid defensively. That's when I think of
All
a
right,
great player.
So I'm gonna give you the stats of somebody, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me if they're great, right?
All right.
So they're pitching to a tune of a 2.9 ERA. They've struck out 90 in 68 innings. Okay, they have a WHIP of 1.01. They have a record of 6-4. Okay?
I think I know who it is.
Okay. I'm going to give you more stats on this player. They're batting 260 with 15 home runs, 45 RBIs,
I already
7
knew who it
stolen
was.
bases. So my question is that player great?
Okay, stop right here. I want to stop before we go any further. I know who the player was before you even threw out offensive stats, number one. I know the delusional person on a page who's saying he's not great. I believe A, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Correct, it is.
B, it's Angelo from Staten Island.
Yeah. No, he's from Queens, but
whatever. Queens, Staten Island, whatever. I love Angelo to death. He's my boy. He knows that. Angelo's my guy. But I knew it was Shohei. I knew it was Angelo. And yes, he is great. That is it. He thinks he's not great. And I know this. Want to know why?
And
I know this from last year when all he did was talk up was Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s got to win the MVP, not Shohei. So I knew all this already. I'm that good. Chris, please take over.
No. Shohei Ohtani is absolutely a great player, and his greatness is also measured by his uniqueness. He is the next Babe Ruth that a lot of people are touting, and I don't know how you could beat that.
Here it is. Mediocre
at best. Angelo, I love you, brother. You're my boy. I love you to death. But you're mistaken.
Drugs are bad. I don't know what Whitestone Lanes puts on the lanes, but you gotta stop. You gotta stop inhaling.
Bro, put down the quesadillas at Whitestone, bro.
the fried pickles over here. Listen to me. We have in our lifetime, we have never seen a player do what he does. Okay, the last player to do what he does is Babe Ruth, guys. So in the same essence, Babe Ruth is not a great player either. If we're going by Angelo's measures.
Listen, hold on. If you let Ohtani just be a pitcher, he's gonna win 14 to 18 games a year on a not good Angels team. Okay, pitch probably to around a 3 ERA, and if you let him hit full time, he's gonna hit 35 home runs a year and drive in 90 RBIs and bat 280. How is it not great?
With the thought process and
right.
Torres.
A lot of people will say Babe Ruth that
what's crazy
wasn't
is,
great.
How was it not great?
Well, hold on, really quickly. The funny part is, I just looked at the comments because a lot of people haven't added. So first off, I want to shout out JT from Dump and Chase. His Rangers. He's still suffering from. He's still recovering from a Rangers loss, but they will be back next season to recap all of the great hockey action. But that wasn't even
the Lightning lose.
That wasn't even Angelo that made that comment. That was Dom DeSilva, who's just stirring the pot.
Oh, come on, Dom. Dom, don't do this, Dom. Okay? You had me talking about my boy Angelo on the air, making fun of him. It's not even him saying mediocre at best.
Well, no, it's definitely Angelo started this whole chaos, of mediocre at best. But it's like, like I said, in our lifetime, we've never seen anyone do this. And for it to be the only person to compare him to is Babe Ruth, that's a hell of a person to be compared to.
No, absolutely. Like, I don't know how you can say that guy is not great when that's his direct comparison. One of the 5 best players to ever lace him up for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I knew
it was Ohtani. I knew it was Angelo. Maybe the mediocre best comment. I thought I thought it was still Angelo, but I knew it was him. Like I said, we talked about this last year, where he wanted Vlad to win the MVP. So
Yeah, he
I know
wanted Vlad to win because he had money on Vlad to win the MVP.
Well, we also talk a lot of, we talk about the bowling, we talk about the raffles, we talk about baseball, me and Angelo a lot.
Yeah, of course.
So I know he's not the biggest Ohtani fan, so I knew that was coming from him for sure when it was all this.
I just, like I said, I couldn't understand it, and then someone brought it to my attention today that it was him that said it, and I was like, I texted him, I said, listen, I said, you need to stop. I was like, drugs are bad, stop doing them.
Maybe playing next to Mike Trout is hurting his stock.
Listen, it's, it is what it is. Well, let's, Tommy, I know that we usually do like a trade from you, right? But it's tough. It's tough to do anything. But let's play fantasy baseball. Fantasy baseball is a big part of everything, of every sport nowadays, right? I think that for myself included, it's made me a better fan and more appreciate players that I may not necessarily watch. West Coast guys, I'm drafting them, and it's making me pay attention to players and teams that I normally would never watch, right? If I gave you a blank check right now, a blank check to sign any player or bring any player, I already know Chris's answer, so this is the easiest question in the world. Any player in the major leagues to the Yankees right now, who would you go out and get?
Okay. That's a very loaded question. There's a lot of guys.
It is a very loaded question.
I would
get one guy.
Go ahead and I have a 1A guy and 1B. I know he can't do that, but my one guy 100% would be Juan Soto. Is my answer.
Yeah, Tommy.
Listen, dude. Listen, the guy's, what is he, 23 years old?
Yeah.
You're getting another 12 years out of this kid. He's solid, dude. That's the guy, man. No brainer. I don't got to get into how good he is. Everyone knows how great he is. Probably one of the best hitters that people have seen in years. He would be my guy. And if I had to take a second guy, I know this sounds crazy and it probably wouldn't make any sense. But if you can say that the next 4 years DeGrom would be healthy, I would give DeGrom the money next. I'm just saying, dude, imagine having DeGrom and Cole 1 and 2.
Yeah.
In a playoff series.
Listen,
I know DeGrom's a little older and injury prone, but Juan Soto's definitely clearly my answer. But if we can maybe revert that question to go one position player and then one pitcher you would pick, that's who it would be. I got to go with DeGrom, but honestly, Juan Soto's the guy.
Yeah, I would. Listen, I would not. I definitely wouldn't disagree.
Tommy stole my answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was definitely Chris's answer. There was no brainer.
I got another one. One guy that I wanted a couple of years ago when he was about to be a free agent was JT Realmuto.
Okay,
that's a guy. That was a contact speedy catcher.
You're gonna bring up someone to block your boy Trevino? Terrible. You have no loyalty. No loyalty.
Unreal.
Unreal. No loyalty to boy Trevino.
I love Trevino.
Terrible.
I love Trevino. We know this has been documented on multiple episodes. But man, JT Realmuto is still one of the best catchers in baseball. Trevino was a surprise.
Listen, Realmuto's kind of fallen off. I haven't heard his name really mentioned.
Well, again, you're playing next to Bryce Harper. Then.
Well, I mean, you just disclosed my guy. If I'm going out and getting anybody, it's Bryce Harper. He was the guy I wanted years ago. He's got the brass. He's got the attitude. He's got the left-handed bat. He's got everything you want for a New York Yankee.
Yep.
I was pissed when they didn't get him then, and if they gave me a blank check, that's who I'm going to sign.
Okay.
He's a little bit. I love Harper. I watched him play high school baseball in Las Vegas when I lived there. Okay. I watched him play there. I watched Strasburg play there. Don't get me wrong, dude. Bryce Harper's great, but for me, he wouldn't be the answer for me because he's a little bit older in the tooth. Soto's too young, dude. 23 years old. What were you guys doing at 23? Chris, are you even 23? How old are you?
I'm 21. I don't even know what I'm doing in 2 years.
That's my point. This guy, and here you go. And this guy, Juan Soto's in the major leagues being one of the best players in baseball. That's why I give him the dough, for sure.
Fair enough. Hopefully the Yankees listen to us and give somebody else the dough, and he'll be playing right in front of you, Chris, in just a little bit because I can see where you're sitting. So you'll be looking at 99 for the better part of the evening there.
Honestly, if we're talking about paying somebody, how about number 99, Aaron Judge? Just a thought.
Yeah, just a thought. Let's put some money in his bank account. So Chris, every game, right? Every game when a certain player does something, you decide to blow up our chat with the same saying every time. Nobody's ready
For
for
June,
June Anthony
Rizzo.
Rizzo. Oh, you know what, guys? Hold on. I take it back. Someone just said something, and I completely forgot about this player. And all of us forgot about this player. What about this guy?
Coming off a torn ACL, he's played very well.
Acuna is a beast.
He gets injured a lot, though. He has a lot of lower leg injuries, and for an outfielder, that could be killer later in his career.
Listen, listen. That boy hits nukes.
He does.
Nukes.
He's great.
Well,
Listen,
the casual Yankee fan is like, don't pay us because he gets injured. Acuna's had
Listen,
like
I
3
didn't
lower leg
forget
injuries in the
about
last
him.
3 years.
I didn't forget about Acuna. I know he was there. I didn't forget about him, but you want to know what? I'm still taking Juan Soto. It doesn't matter.
Soto's better. Judge is
That's
better.
fine.
Harper's better.
Fair enough. All right, let's get to it. That was Ray. Ray, add your name onto you so I can see when you're talking. But yeah, so we're talking about Anthony Rizzo, arguably the guy that has carried us to this 10-2 record that we've had. Yet, when you see Chris's standings, you'll know that he does not obviously quantify what he's done as legitimate.
No. All right. You're putting words in my mouth now. Anthony Rizzo, I've been the one, and you like we said in the group chat, I've been the one saying nobody's ready for Anthony Rizzo. He's the best 230 hitter in baseball.
Apparently, you're not ready to give him the respect he deserves either.
He's been great. He really has been on both sides of the ball. Sure, I would love to if his averages came up a bit, but man, if I'm getting 19 home runs out of the guy and then what's going to look like close to 100 RBIs, I'll take it. And again, he's still an elite everyday first baseman.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. The guy's great. The guy. Listen, I don't care if he bats 240. Like you said, 240, 25 home runs, 85 RBIs, and an unbelievable glove at first base. Plus a clubhouse guy. Listen, what he does for this team is a lot more than numbers, okay? He's coming in clutch at bats, delivered game-tying singles, game-go-ahead singles, game-tying home runs, walk-off home runs. You can't just say, oh, the guy's only 240, 15, and 40. What does that matter? The guy's clutch when we need him to be clutch and delivers every time he's there. That's all I care about.
Guys, the major league average is 260 right now. So, think about it. It's not like the days of Tony Gwynn where everyone's hitting 300 plus. You know, it's not. It's 260. You know, so it's like there is. Yeah, is he a little bit lower? Yeah, but it is what it is. But Chris, you're at Yankee Stadium right now. You're getting ready to watch Jameson Taillon take it to the Houston Astros. Guys, let's break down this series. This is going to be honestly, for all the haters out there, all we've kept hearing is wait till the Astros, wait to the Astros, wait to the Astros. Let's see what you do against the Astros. But this is the measuring stick for us, right? This is the team that has knocked us out of the playoffs 2 of the last 3 seasons. Like this is who we're measured up against, and the pitching matchups line up pretty nice for us. Like I said, I favor us 3-1. But guys, what is for both of you? What is your key to this series? What is going to be the tipping point for us?
Yankees hitting with runners in scoring position, I think will be a big deal. Taking advantage of the chances we get against Verlander, against those guys, they're very good. So when you got men on, you got to drive them in. I think it's going to be our offense that's going to win us the series, not our pitching. Definitely the offense against those guys.
Okay. Yeah, these guys aren't prone to making mistakes. So we do have to take advantage where we get them. I don't think we can go boom or bust with the long ball, even though that bailed us out in the 10th series the last few days with Trevino and Judge's 2 home run shot to close out that series. We need to hit for contact. Guys like IKF, guys like DJ, and guys like Judge. If Judge can get a couple of doubles in this series, 2-3 doubles in this series, and be able to knock guys in, I think that's going to be the key to our wins.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For me, guys, I think it's going to be, I think that one of the biggest things is that, like, our running game is going to be a little bit neutralized. Martin Maldonado was arguably one of the terrible with the stick, but arguably one of the best defensive catchers in baseball. And the guy's got an absolute hose. I really think I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to come down to our bullpen. We have, the best hitter in baseball on our team, but you got 1A coming into Yankee Stadium right now in the form of Yordan Alvarez. That guy is an absolute tank, left-handed bat, and he's the guy that's scaring me right now.
Yeah, he's very good. I mentioned his name a couple weeks ago about guys that were really solid. He's one of them. But yeah, so you gotta keep those guys under control. But like I said, man, we struggled against teams with scoring runs against them. That's where we struggle. So we got to score some runs against these guys. We got to hit Verlander, hit him hard, get him out of the game. That's what we got to do.
No, absolutely. We got to keep the pressure. One thing, yeah, that's exactly that right here. Keep Alvarez in the park. He's been absolutely raking as of late.
He's been great.
And you definitely got to keep him in the park. Absolutely.
He's the highest paid DH in baseball.
It's crazy, and it's, he's like mini Poppy. That's what he is. He's little David Ortiz.
Yep.
But guys, so, for me, it's going to be, like I said, it was going to be the bullpen, right? So speaking of the bullpen, let's go back to 1998 again, right? Your 8th inning guy was Mariano Rivera. Your 9th inning guy was John Wetteland.
I heard it, and I'm like,
do we have our version of Mariano Wetteland with King and Holmes?
It could very well be that. I would say it's a little bit early to say that, but yes, if King and Holmes can keep doing what they're doing, that could be a great 8-inning guy, great 9th-inning guy. And you know that if you get this game that far, we got it. It's a lockdown. I remember back in the day when this game went to Mariano Rivera, then Wetteland, it was over. And then when it went from whoever we had before Mariano Rivera, I forgot, and then Rivera came in, the game was over, right? That's how I wanted to feel with King and Holmes. Michael King stuff is filthy, man, and Holmes stuff is filthy. If these guys just stay doing what they're doing, we could definitely have, not a 2.0 version, but maybe a 2.5 version with King and Holmes for a long time.
I mean, it's pretty sick that at one point Mariano was a setup for somebody who the following season just disappeared. John Wetteland went to Texas and was never to be heard from again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But
it's
I love
crazy
what
to
we
think
have
that
with these two.
prior to the 96 season, that they almost traded Mariano Rivera for Randy Johnson.
Yeah, I would have much preferred to have Randy Johnson at that point than when we got him. Because Randy Johnson, when we got him, was just like, he got his arm was limp spaghetti, and he was just throwing meatballs.
I mean, he was still a 16, 17, 18 game winner at the time. He was still the ace of the staff at the time when Messina was on the team as well.
And listen, there's no way anyone at any time when Messina is on the staff, Moose was the ace. Moose, for me, was probably one of my favorite pitchers ever.
Me too.
And one of the most underappreciated pitchers in Major Leagues ever.
I love Mike Messina.
Love Mike Messina. That knuckle curve was special.
It was before his time. He was ahead of his time. That knuckle curve was filthy.
Yeah, going back to what you said about the bullpen, guys like King and Holmes, I think they're going to be major pieces because even though we want King as that 8th inning guy, he's a guy that could eat up 2-3 innings if somebody like J-Mo can't go more than 6. Which, I mean, we all love J-Mo and he's played fantastic this year, but he's not a guy that can go too deep into games. He throws a lot of pitches early. So
right,
if King can go 2-3 innings, and then, Holmes can close out. If Peralta can, continue to be solid, not have that stinker like he did in Toronto, I think you're absolutely right about this bullpen being a major factor in this series.
I do want to say one thing real quick about since we're on the bullpen. The guy, I want Michael King used in more high leverage spots. I don't want him to be the 2-inning guy anymore or a 3-inning guy. You want to know who that job should go to? That should
Clark
go to
Schmidt.
Clark Schmidt. Okay? Schmidt should, thank you. Schmidt should be the Michael King of early in the season, 2 innings when a starter goes only 4, and then whatever. Michael King should be the 8th inning guy and let Holmes lock it up and put Schmidt in that role of being the guy who does 2-3 innings that we need.
I'll be honest with you, Clark Schmidt should be the guy that they're using to replace Chad Green. Chad Green was that. Chad Green a couple of years ago was your eighth inning guy, but as of late, Chad Green became that, where he had to extend the start and get you those 2 to 3 innings, whatever. That's what Clark Schmidt was a highly touted rookie. He was a highly touted prospect.
His stuff is really good.
It's very, very, very good. I'm glad to see him in the majors, and I'm really enjoying watching him pitch. I really am.
He definitely earned a spot in this team with what he's been doing lately. He's not going anywhere. This kid, I'm telling you right now, when Chapman's gone next year and Holmes gets that job as the 9th inning guy for sure, you'll see Clark Schmidt or Michael King be the 8th inning guy. Telling you right now, guaranteed.
Well, you want to talk? I know that Clark got sent down. I know that. But an embarrassment of riches. What's his face got? Torched a couple of weeks ago. The Karate Kid, right? Ron Marinaccio. He got torched a couple of weeks ago. Ever since that,
He's been a lot better.
he has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. And
Ever
so
since
just
that 16-inning game.
Yep, absolutely. So, Tommy, though, Clark Schmidt was sent down because they brought back, a familiar face, Mr. Albert Abreu.
Yeah, I heard that on Michael K's show yesterday that Schmidt would be the guy probably going down, but that's not going to be a move that's going to be. He'll be back up very soon.
Yeah, no, I don't see that. And like I said, it's an embarrassment of riches because, like we said, everyone's worried about making trades. Guys, we're going to make, like Tommy and you said it best, we're going to make 2 in-season trades in a couple of weeks when you get back, Loizaga and Chapman, to our bullpen. That we don't have to go out and make a trade. We're going to get 2 big arms back, and like I said, you slide Chapman into that 7th, 8th inning role right now. I know that Boone said that he was like, Holmes is going to be used in high leverage situations, which to me sounds like a nice way of saying he's not going to be the closer, but I'm hoping that's not the case.
Same here.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about that Abreu thing real quick. We got him. We got Trevino in that trade for Abreu, and then Cashman ends up signing him off waivers. So he pretty much got Trevino for free when you really think about it. But no, absolutely. I think Clark Schmidt is going to be a good piece for the future, and I don't think he'll be in the minors for the rest of the season.
Listen, that seems to be like listen, I think that's like Chapman's go-to move. If you remember a couple years ago, trades Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs, gets Gleyber Torres, re-signs Chapman in the offseason.
Right off the World Series one.
Right off the World Series. He re-signs him, and he's like, all right, great. I got their best prospect, and now I get back my closer. It was crazy. But, all right, Chris, we have let you survive 45 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So your public state of execution. Oh, he left. Oh, my God, he left. He got so nervous.
He knew what was going to happen, Joe.
He knew
what was up. My
the
man
public
got
state
out of town quick.
He's like, look at the time. It's first pitch.
He took the hot dog. He had a hot dog and a soda at the ball game and went like this. See you later.
Chris got out of
here. That was weird. That was weird. I just left.
Chris, we thought you left town, buddy, because of your bad rankings.
Throw it up.
We thought you were gone, buddy. We thought you hit the showers, kid.
No.
We thought you were gone.
I have my points. I have my talking points, and I know what I'm gonna say.
Chris, I'm looking at this, Chris, and my head hurts.
Yeah, listen. Let me talk about it. Number 1 and number 2, I think, are fine. Clay Holmes got put in a bad situation at the end of that game of the year with his first run in 31 innings, comes back and gets the save to close out the Tampa series again. Clay Holmes is fine at number 2. Number 1, I'm not going to come here at Yankee Stadium surrounded by Yankee fans and say Aaron Judge is the best player on this team. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but
Aaron
hold on.
Judge,
It's not,
he
he doesn't
had a
have to
slow
be.
week. He had a slow week. Yes,
This
he
is
had
a
a
weekly
slow week.
power ranking.
He still hit 220 and had 3 home runs, 2 of them resulting in the win yesterday.
Hold on, Chris.
Oh.
I love you, buddy. You just really said he still hit
220.
He's still hitting 220. He still had 8 RBIs, and he had 3 home runs this week. 2 of them resulting in the win last week. Let me talk. Number 3, Garrett Cole. He bounced back. He had that rough start in Minnesota, and now he's on back-to-back great starts. Had that no-hitter going into the 7th. Didn't get the win because of, them continuing to throw him out there. But Cole still, I think, is deserving of being top 3. Jameson's Tyon on the bump tonight. There's not enough good things I can say about him. I wish he could, throw a little bit more, go more than 6 innings, 5 innings at a time. But J-Mo has been solid all year long, and I think he deserves to be in the top 4, going by not only the last week, but his work throughout the year. And he was in my top 10 last week as well. A couple weeks ago, I was told I wasn't giving J-Mo enough love. Now I'm giving him all the love, and I'm getting slandered for it. But number 5, Gleyber Torres. Honestly, Joe, I see your point. I could switch Gleyber and Rizzo, but number 5 right now I got Gleyber. He hit 320 over the week. He's been great defensively, and I feel like, again, he's another guy I haven't shown a lot of love this year. Rizzo's been on this list every week, whether he was number 10, number 5. Right now I have him at number 6 because, yes, he hit 4 home runs. Yes, he hit the walk-off. Yes, he hit that RBI single in that one game. And yes, he's still a great defensive player. And yes, nobody is ready for June Anthony Rizzo. But watching the games over the last week, I like Gleyber Torres at 5 and Rizzo at 6. If you want Rizzo to swap with Torres, I could definitely see that as well. Cortez coming off back-to-back rough starts, but I still think he was solid. He only allowed He only allowed 2 runs in his last start, 5 innings. That's a bit rough, but I still like him. I still like him in the top 10, and I don't want to just give up hope on Nestor just yet. Monty, for the first time all season, allowed more than 3 earned runs in his last start last night against Tampa. We ended up coming out with the win, but that was obviously Montgomery's roughest start on the season. 9 hits, 4 runs. But I still think this rotation is still one of the best in baseball, and that's why we got 4 out of 5 on this list right now. Number 9, Michael King. We talked about it. Michael King has been absolutely incredible recently, and he's been, that guy that we're trying to trust in that 8th inning spot. I'm sorry, it's getting loud here. I don't know if you guys can hear me too well. He's that guy that we're starting to trust in that 8th inning spot, and it's going to come to a decision when we get all of our guys back where exactly we're going to put him. But recently, ever since he had that rough game a couple of weeks ago, he had a couple of rough games. He's been back to the King from earlier in this year, and I think he's been absolutely sensational. And number 10, I refuse. He saved his skin last week. Not last week. He saved his skin last night when he hit that 2-run home run to help us win that game in Tampa in the 8th inning. Jose Trevino is my number 10. He's still one of the best framers in baseball. He's still one of the best defensive catchers in baseball, and he's still hitting around 280. And he's the guy that's, he's been reliable all year. He's been the guy that when you need to hit, if it's not Rizzo, it's going to be Trevino or it's going to be Judge. And that is my top 10.
All right, I'm going to put something on the screen for you, Tommy. Tommy, I'm going to put. I don't even have to let you. I won't have to say nothing. I'm just going to put that up there.
I'll see it.
Do you know whose number? Do you know who numbers those are from last week?
That's Anthony Rizzo. That's
Anthony Rizzo's numbers last week. How is he not number 1 on this list?
This is, of course, a weekly list.
I think you forgot. I think you forgot about that.
It is a power rankings. I think Aaron Judge still holds all the power on this team. That is
No,
the
no.
best player on this team.
No, that's overall. On a weekly power rankings, Anthony Rizzo 1, Gleyber Torres 2. That should have been it. That should have been the whole list.
I don't think Aaron Judge played bad enough to where I'm like, oh no, he's not even top 3. I can't say that. And especially defensively, he's the way he transitioned into center field, made some diving stops to end innings, made the play all the way deep in center field at the end of that Tampa game. Absolutely, he's still the best player on the team. He's still going to be my number one until he has a week where he hits like 150, or he's like Stan and he's like 1 for his last 24.
Chris, he batted 200 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in the last 7 days. 200!
But when did those two home runs come in? When did those 2 home runs come in, Joey?
Chris, that doesn't over.
When did those 2 home runs come in?
Hold on,
Joey?
listen, hold on. The bigger thing about last night's victory, well, how about Jose Trevino throwing him out of third base walls?
No, that was a great play. Great play.
That's a pre-made move between him and Donaldson that's talked about. That was huge. And the Trevino 2-run homer. Listen, I get it, man. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. But number one, Chris.
I'm not coming to Yankee Stadium and saying Aaron Judge isn't number one on this team. Maybe next week when I'm at home, I can thoroughly look through this a little bit more. But right now, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Chris,
he did not play bad enough to where he's not the best player on this team.
Chris.
I'm going down with this Judge shit.
Chris.
Listen, my lists have been solid over the last few weeks.
This one's a little skeptical.
Maybe I'm biased. But Aaron Judge is the best player on the team. I don't need to convince anybody of that. Clay Holmes was put in a bad situation.
And just to clarify for everyone watching at home, right? This is a weekly power rankings list, guys. This is not an overall power rankings list because then, yes, Aaron Judge is supplanted. He's firmly intact at number one. This is a weekly list.
He was number one last week. He did not play bad enough to not be number one this week.
Oh, I'm going to say that batting 200 and only having 2 home runs when another teammate has batted 363, doubled your runs, home runs, and RBIs was enough to to get taken out of number one.
I'll give you that. Like I said, Rizzo, I can see if you want to swap him up for Tyon, if you want to swap him above Cole, that's fine. I am absolutely not putting him above Holmes and Judge, given the body of work on the season. Yes, it's a weekly list, but they have not played bad enough where I would have to drop them so severely. It just hasn't happened. I haven't seen that.
By the way, Chris, just in case you were wondering, Gleyber Torres last week batted 347 with 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and 8 runs scored. Just in case you were wondering. Just wanted to throw that out there.
He had like 8 hits and 8 runs. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. 2 guys that hit over.
Which is why he's in the top 5. Which is why he's
2
in the
guys
top 5.
2 guys that hit more than 100 points higher than your number one. But hey, listen, it's your list. We're gonna let you live and die by it. How is Tommy still frozen in his car? Tommy, how did you get frozen in your car? You're definitely on the LIE, aren't you?
No. Not on the LIE. I had to leave real quick. My mom's car's.
No worries, you're good, bud. But guys, yeah. So another fun episode. So let's call it tonight.
I had to help the old lady out.
That's all right. Mom always comes first.
Joey, do you have the lineup for today?
I do have the lineup for today. Yes.
I was gonna say if we want to overlook that before we close out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So the lineup tonight for the Yankees, you got DJ starting, playing at third, Judge in center, Rizzo at first.
Do it.
Giancarlo DH, Torres at second, Hicks in left, IKF shortstop, your main man Trevino behind the dish, and Joey Gallo playing in right. So you get to look at Joey Gallo all night. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah,
And by the way, I like
know.
Trevino. I like Trevino getting another start. I think he should be the everyday catcher moving forward.
Listen,
Sorry.
batting 283, 6 home run. Hey, listen,
Yeah, Judge is going to
I,
be the consistent center.
he's playing well there, and you know what? I like what they're doing. They're rotating everyone out of in and out of center
Yeah, his
field.
WRC
Because,
plus is almost doubled when he plays left and when he plays right.
yep.
And especially if we're going to keep Judge as the everyday center fielder, absolutely, I feel like we could stick him as the everyday right.
Wait a minute. Who just wrote this? I need to see who just wrote this comment. Sorry. Someone just said on the way to the game, let's go Astros. So I just want to see which Mets fan wrote that. And I was just about to say something nice about
All
the
right,
Mets.
guys, I'm starting to cut out. I feel like the stadium is starting to pack in. I'm starting to lose
Yes.
bandwidth.
We're
So,
gonna
absolutely fun episode, guys. I will see you guys next week.
Oh, he really left. That was quick. Man, you did the Irish goodbye.
That was very Irishy goodbye-ish.
That was very Irishy goodbye-ish, yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as
Absolutely.
always, for my main man Tommy, for Chris, who's I don't know, I think he drank too much when he made that list. Chilling at Yankee Stadium, and myself, I'm about to turn the Yankees on and listen to Carlos Beltran butcher the English language.
Always fun when he's in the booth, right?
Oh,
Listen,
it's
man.
brutal.
About this, I get what's going on. I don't mind it. You want to switch it up, you got to get some other guys in the booth. But let's be honest, it's not even about the language barrier. The way he diagnoses the game is very hard as well. Same thing. Listen,
Yeah.
Cameron Maybin speaks perfect English. Cameron Maybin's terrible too.
Yeah, no, I
There's
don't.
no
I think
fluidity.
both. No,
No fluidity,
zero.
Joe, between Michael
Nope.
K and them. Nothing. At least when you have
I think
David
they made
Cohn and Michael K, it's perfect.
Yeah, I think they made I think they made a big mistake letting Coney get away for ESPN, and and then obviously I miss Paul O'Neill. I love the way Paul O'Neill broke down the game. It was fun to listen to. I get it. You want to try to diversify it a little bit, but these two guys, like you said, they're very hard listens. They're very hard listens. And
Yeah.
Who's the new guy, by the way?
And you want to know what?
Who's the new guy on the radio?
On the radio, watch. It hasn't been.
It hasn't.
It is high. It is far.
Yeah.
It
No,
is gone. John Sterling hasn't been on.
It hasn't been Sterling because I don't know if they finally stand him because like
Is it Spiro? No, they can't. Way that guy's the only way John Sterling's getting canned is if he dies. They're not getting rid of that guy.
No, of course
Too
not.
iconic.
I know.
Too iconic, man. Who is it? Spiro Ditas?
It might be Spiro Ditas. I don't know. I don't recognize the voice.
Oh, I'm gonna Google that and I'm gonna text you because I like to know who it is.
Yeah.
Figures
it was
Ken
a Mets
Singleton,
fan. It's
man.
Eric McKenna. Ken Singleton was great.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. Ken Singleton was another classic one.
Was my favorite.
Yeah, but listen, we are done with another episode of Yank This. We're going to be back next week, next Thursday. Hopefully, I was right and Tommy was wrong. Because if it is, then we had a really good weekend. I'll take the split. Listen, I'll take the split.
Yeah.
But tonight, I think tonight's a big game for us. Tyone can kind of really cement himself. Yeah, absolutely tonight because, like I said, tomorrow's the one matchup that doesn't really favor us. Going against Verlander.
I agree.
But we'll let's just see how it is. Enjoy the weekend. Tommy, pleasure as always for myself,
Always,
Tommy,
Sam.
Chris, and the rest of Fired Up Sports. It was a pleasure. We'll see you everyone next week.
God bless.